Hey guys, so I ended the last video talking about Cebu Pacific and PAL. This is a continuation of this series that one posted a few hours ago. Now I want to talk about the stocks that had good rebounds. When I say rebounds, they had a good movement downward. Then they started to push up at the end of last week as well. Because as you all know, in times of crisis, people always sell. But when there are opportunities where people think that it's too cheap to ignore, also you would see a lot of people who would bottom pick. Then a lot of people are asking why would they buy when everything is in a downtrend? You have to remember, not all people who are investing in the market are traders. Not all people who are investing in the market are there just for a quick buck, for just a few seconds of trade. You have people who are in it for dividends, and you have people who buy based on valuations that they're willing to wait. That even if they buy, for example, Ayala Land to 30, then Ayala Land drops to 27, they can buy some more, or they have the ability to hold and not panic and wait for it to recover when everything else would go well. Hence, we all have different styles, we all have different techniques and narratives as well. That's why you have people also who would buy when they see things dip. They're the ones who will try to pick it up most of the time. So now I want to focus on stocks that have moved up, and you can't talk about stocks that have moved up for last week if you don't talk about the big ones that primarily caused the index also to make its rebound. I want to start with SM. SM closed at 831 pesos per share last Friday. So above and beyond that, it moved up more than 5 plus percent, 5.25%, with a very, very large value turnover, 1.2 billion. Please remember, volume is very, very important, especially if you're talking about conviction, especially if you're talking about its ability to be able to see if a lot of people are really interested in it or not. So here's how it looks like. I want to show you the 10 at least more than a decade's range of SM. If you notice it, this strong uptrend over here, this entirely massive uptrend, similar to the other stocks that I showed you over the past few weeks, have been also been battered and broken down. Now let's zoom into where we are today. So please remember how this entire uptrend started 2000, from the drop of 2008 to 2009, and it went up more than 1000, roughly 1300 plus percent. And then as of this period, you'll see it already, it started to somehow consolidate. So SM has been consolidating since 2017, September 2017. It's now we're close to the third year of it consolidating, with a range of around 800 to around 1100 as its range. And as you zoom in, you see how important support and resistance is. Support, breakout from this resistance, it became the support. Then last Thursday, it broke down from that level, opened here, then boom, massively pushed up as well. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to try to make this from a longer perspective also. If you're looking at it from that perspective, oops, I removed it. But you can put, if you're going to put the support and resistance back here, and this is your resistance right over there. And if you have a longer time frame, possibility narrative, if you want to trade this particular range, this is around the 33% range as well. So the condition for this though is that SM must stay above the 823, 825 level for this to uh, progress and for this to be valid. Notwithstanding though, if you look at it, you have four moving averages that are also still bearish as well. That is telling you and denoting to you that there's still more sellers in the market, and that's something very, very, very important to note. That it's true that if it holds this range, it stays above the 825 level, then it has a shot to at least attack this movement. But you have to remember also, this is the wide range, meaning if it took from here, October 2018 to here, more than a year for it to hit this, then there's also a possibility that if you want to see it recover properly, it may take some time also before it goes back up again. One of the things that I'd like to mention though also is, at this point in time, SM is still oversold as well because of the massive selling that happened. But a couple of things that could cause its delay to go up is, I'd like to show this to all of you. Number one, you have a resistance here. Number two, you have another resistance here. And then if you place another peg here, you can somehow put the resistances there. So what could possibly prevent SM from pushing up in a straight line are all of these resistances. So if it attacks this, hits this level, fails to break out from it, then it could go back from this level again. So the only way it has a chance to break out and go above those levels is if it breaks out the 882 level, Next possible resistance is the 970. If it fails to break that and you see a dip here, then that could be an opportunity also to go out. But if it breaks past the 970 level, next possible target price now will be the 152 level. So if you notice it, everything is also based on a support and resistance level. If it breaks past this already, it now shows us that it's above all of these four moving averages that we have. But it's that's still a great way of allow me to share more of this later when we see more price action happen. What I want to reiterate also is that if you see this wick over here, the buying started to happen because there was a very this particular line, there was a very large resistance here, which became its new support at the around the 700 peso level. So a lot of people who were able to get in there, who were able to position, and then if should it bounce already, they're seeing themselves if SM goes back to its previous high, they're at least seeing a 658 to 60% gain as well from that particular point in time. So comment below, guys, if you're learning. Comment below if you're getting a lot from all of this. By the way, I forgot to introduce myself. I tend to forget that, especially when I do uninterrupted, unedited, no logo, no music type of charting. But my name's Marvin Gurmo. I'm a stock market trader and investor. I've been investing for more than a decade already. I started my journey towards financial freedom 2006 when I was still working. I started to do businesses, and as those businesses started to earn, I started to invest them. So I've been working hard. Doing side hustles, doing businesses. I barely spent at that time 2006. Then I started to invest them, and fast forward more than 14 years from now, it's just been an honor that it's not just that I love investing, but I get to share this to all of you as well. So super appreciated. If you're new to this channel, to please subscribe and smash that bell so you get updated every time I come up with new content about investing, about the markets, about me teaching you that you don't have to rely on your emotions. You don't have to panic right here, right now for you to be able to still trade and invest the markets. So anyways, let's look at BDO. BDO, if you look at it, it's almost the same thing. SM, BDO, they're highly connected to each other. BDO has a large market cap, and BDO has a large say also on how SM also will perform. If SM does well, BDO if BDO does well, then hypothetically speaking, because SM has a lot of shares in BDO, SM should also do well as well. But you have this same intraday bounce, same thing. I'll just place the resistances for BDO for all of you guys, so you guys can check should there be any hesitation for the stock to go up. These are the resistance levels. So currently, even though there was a large push up for BDO, we have a resistance at the 126.6 peso level. So what does this mean in the grand scheme of things? Since we have a resistance at the 126.6 level, is that if it does not go up and you see selling happen for BDO, that's normal because it's at the resistance. It's normal for stocks at resistances to be sold down as well, not unless we see it start to break out. So a couple of things I'd like to mention here. Number one is this. If it fails to break out from the 126 level, your possible support ranges are 119, 110 to as low as 106. And then if it breaks out from 126, your resistances are 138, 153, and 160 pesos per share. So if you look at it, you look at the moving averages. The moving averages look almost the same as how SM would all look like. It's basically all bearish still, and it's very far from where the price closed last Friday. So closest is at the 20-day MA at around 140. But if you want to see it cross all of these levels, it has to break out from the 153 level. 153 level, so that there's a more bullishness, a more bullish tone to the stock as well. Please remember, it's different when people are buying it when it's cheap as compared to people who are buying it when it's higher. When people are buying it when it's higher, there's an expectation of growth. When we fail to see stocks break out from resistances, then that actually means that no one's willing to buy it higher. That's why sellers are dominating. It means that the only reason why people are buying it just because it's so cheap that they're coming in. But unless we see it break out, unless we see people buy it higher, unless there's an expectation of growth, we can't really expect it to get to see the stocks go massively up as well. And I just like to note this, as of this point in time, I think banks like BDO will continually earn money as long as the government, as long as people are still mandated to pay out their loans, as long as people are still mandated to pay their housing loans, their cars, then BDO would still be very, very good, very, very well. There's no impact on it right now. As long as people don't default, as long as there's no massive job layoffs, then the revenue could still be expected. I'm not sure how it will go, no, but when people start saying, when the government starts saying that, okay, people who have loans right now, you don't have to pay yet while we are in this crisis, you don't have to pay your housing loan, you don't have to pay your car loans, then that's where it becomes different already, because there will be an impact in the revenues as well. Now, I talked about SM, I talked about BDO. Please comment below if you're learning. Please comment if you're getting something from this. I want to talk about Emperador naman. I don't know why, compared to the other stocks that were up, Emperador continues now to move in a different stride, in a different level, while everything was down. Emperador continued to break out. For those who love chart patterns, as you all know, I'm not a big chart pattern fan, but I love technicals brought about by support and resistance. This is a huge rounding bottom from 7 to around 7.6. So the breakout from 6.9, sabihin natin 6.9 to 7.6, that's a 1.6 swing. If you're gonna push for a 1.6 swing here, I wanna see this lang. If the breakout will continue based on this swing, the target price should have been here. So the target price that happened, that was there, was already achieved. But above and beyond that, it started to break out even further. If you look at all of the moving averages, all of them are pretty much bullish, short, mid, and long term. After the breakout from this, Emperador continued its bullish move, and that's why it's so interesting. Why charts are so important, because it will allow you to spot which are moving in a different stride as compared to how the markets are. And if you look at it even further, if I even draw a resistance here, it's noting that Emperador has broken past all of that as well. So let me just fix this. Next possible resistance for Emperador, you could possibly peg it here. So around the 9 peso level, Emperador is close already to its resistance. Then here are its next resistances as well. So breakout from 9, Emperador could go to 9.6. Next one is 9.9, then followed by 10.5 pesos over the short term. So for Emperador, as you can see, it's moving in opposite stride. It's moving in an opposite direction. It's bullish, short, mid, and long term. It just broke out from key resistance levels. It also broke out from this resistance that was preventing it to move up last January 2018. So one key thing for Emperador is, if you want the breakout to proceed, the stock must stay above the 8.5 level still for it to solidify a support level. And what's very, very important, that it needs to break out from the 9.1 level. So between 8.5 and 9.9, it's very, very important it stays above the 8.5 level. But if it fails to break out from the 9.9, then there could possibly be some consolidatory moves here. But if it goes in a more bullish tone still, then you can expect it to break out from the 9.9 level even more as well. Comment below, guys, if you're learning. I super appreciate a thumbs up if you're learning as of this point in time, and if you like this format, raw and no edits, no. And then people are asking, how are you able to make this much videos? Because right now walang edit eh. So you have to understand the context. I study my charts, I study my stocks on a daily basis. So yung ginagawa ko ngayon, while I'm studying it, I just put audio annotations to it. I'm just also speaking to all of you. So this is how I normally go through my day on a regular basis. But as you all know naman, since if it's just me, I'm not explaining it. It doesn't take this time. That's why I could go through a lot of stocks. But again, this is for all of you. Next, I want to talk about PLDT. PLDT was so interesting because I saw PLDT drop intraday to around 880 pesos per share, only to see it close now massively up at around 1,029 pesos. But that being said, if I'm going to project this, you still see PLDT in a downtrend. And if you see this also, this entire area, that's why you see it hit this intraday, boom, hit this level, and it started to retrace down. Why? Because it's a resistance. It's not just a resistance. It's not just a downtrend. No, this is a downtrend from June 2019. But it's not just that. But you can also expect that, hey, from here, support, support that broke down, then resistance, support, then you have it over here that is also a resistance level. So one of the reasons why it did not go up still in connection to that. Let me show you what a swing was it, no, from low to high. Medyo malaki-laki siya. It was 20% swing, guys. That was so amazing, man. You barely see moves like that in the Philippine market on a regular basis, especially for large caps. No, but so interesting, and that's why I love the markets, because you get to see swings like this. That's why it's nice then that don't just take this time as a time that people think that there's a lot of scary things happening, but you also take this time as a time that you can learn, because things like this we don't see on a day-to-day basis as well. So PLDT swung down to 880, but as it started to swing down, we would have looked at it as a breakdown already. As it started to swing down intraday, it pushed back up, went again above the 979 support level, but got blocked by the 1052 resistance. Now, if we want to see PLDT reverse and try to push up, here are the two resistances that I believe it needs to break. Number one, needs to break out from this level, the 1052 level. If it does that, then it escapes this range. That, please remember, it has been in this range since December 2019. Then it needs to break out from this line, so at least it escapes the resistance level. Then after breaking that, it needs to break out from the 200-day moving average. After that, we may see PLDT as one of the first stocks that has started to reverse at this particular point in time. And that's what's so interesting, and that's what I would like to mention for people who are watching PLDT. The name of the game here is you follow the charts. The name of the game here is he who knows how to follow where the charts are headed will always win. If you are a position trader, the name of the game is always coming in when reversals are there. The name of the game is all about finding specific reversals when we see the chart start to go up as well. Now, if it breaks out from 1052, here are the next short-term target prices for it. Of course, you can include the 200-day moving average there, but another one is the 1140 level. Then you have this at the 1200 level all the way up to the 1266 level for the short, mid, and long term for PLDT. Comment below if you're learning. Comment below if this is something that's adding value for you, or if not, if you don't want to comment, you don't want to say your words, just hit the hit the thumbs up, like this video. Super appreciate it. I'd like to talk about Globe Telecoms as well, and I've been making videos about this over and over, that I've been saying that one of the biggest beneficiaries and this whole coronavirus thing is telecom companies, because as you all know, like most of you guys are here, you're consuming videos online, you're streaming, you're not going out, you're just home. Since you're just home, this telecom companies will earn massive amounts of data. You will see more and more people consume data. You're going to see more and more people earn off data like this as well. So that's what's happening to Globe, and I'm sure this entire coronavirus issue, you will see Globe, PLDT, Smart, Sun Cellular, or basically the listed companies, Globe and Tel, to make massive amounts of money from this. And for Globe, no, it's pretty much textbook support and resistance, as you can see here. That's why I love support and resistance. For me, it's amazing. I trade based on support and resistance, and basically, this is one of the first things that I actually learned as well. If you look at it, also though, the bounce from the support was predicated by this RSI cross up, as you all know, for those who attended our Stock Smart sessions. The RSI cross up is a bullish move, especially if the market is oversold, especially if the stock has been sold down, especially if it's in the level of support. By the way, before I continue this, some of you may be asking when is our next Stock Smart sessions. Links are down below to all of the classroom trainings. No, it's not down below, but it's in the description. You can see all of our trainings there, both classroom trainings where you can go and be in a hotel and learn from it, or you can do our online training courses with Chinkitan. It's called Stock Market for Everyone, and also Make Money, Grow Money. It's my online course with Sean C. These are for people who want to learn uh, from their houses or wherever you are. And lastly, last plug, I have 5 books, all in Shopee. You can order them online for those who want to take the time today to read and to learn. You can grab the copies of those books from Shopee. They're just below as well. So we're in the 19-minute mark. Now let's see where we are right now. So 1,700 over here. Support. If it pushes through and goes to its maximum, the plotted resistance that I placed over there at the 2,200 level, this is still a 29 to 30% upside. If it just goes back here to the 2000 level, it's still an 18% trade for all of you guys as well. So if you notice it also, what blocked Globe from proceeding and moving higher, if I mentioned PLDT to have a 20% intraday swing, Globe naman has 16.4% intraday swing from the lowest point to the highest point. Amazing, super amazing. And as you all know, SSS, GSIS, they normally buy stocks like this because they're very predictable, their dividends are very attractive, and they would give investors at least cash flow for a specific period of time as well. What blocked Globe from going up? Number one is the 20-day moving average. Number two is we have a resistance here as well. So you can expect this as a layer of blocking for the stock. If the stock does not move up, these areas could possibly block the stock from going higher as well. And if I'll add another layer, you have the moving averages blocking it here. Then you have the 2,000 peso resistance level as a level of selling for people who would want to get away from the stock as well. So very, very important. That's why if you look at support and resistance very, very well, Globe hit a support level that it has not broken down from in a very, very long time. April 30 bounce, October 7 bounce, March bounce. Let's see if it's legit. What's very, very important is it stays and holds this level. If it does, then well and good. If it doesn't, here are the retracement levels. That's why you bought and it does not bounce, it breaks down over the next few days. That's where it's very, very prudent also for you to cut losses as well. Before I end, I want to show another stock. Comment below if you want me to look at Wilcon, and if you guys have other stocks that you guys want me to discuss and talk about. I'm gonna talk about it probably after this, na siguro Monday morning or Monday lunchtime. But just comment them below, put them in the comment section, and I'm gonna make those videos for you. So lastly, Wilcon, same thing. If you look at Wilcon, it broke below this. These are its ranges. No, it had a heavy resistance at 19, which it hasn't broken out from for a very, very long time. It broke the 17.5 support level just this March. Then it broke the 200-day moving average. Then the 15 peso level, which it hit. Ang galing eh. I love support and resistance. Look at this. Support level bounce, hits this resistance, stays sideways for some time, hits this again, hits this, tries to break out. Then it breaks down from the support level, but knowing it as a support level, boom, you have a large intraday bounce. But this is so interesting. Look at the volatility. Look at the intraday volatility of Wilcon from 10 pesos all the way up to 15. It was up relatively 48% from the lowest point of the day to its highest point. For those who caught that, oh my gosh, congratulations to all of you. I hope you got something from it, you were able to profit from it. But anyways, should it continue to fall and this becomes a fake breakout from the 15.4 level, it would be good to be out, because if you look at it, the next possible support level for Wilcon in terms of it being protected will be here, 13, and it will be here. Then if you zoom out further, the next possible support levels, if you look at it, will be somewhere here. Then after that, medyo malayo na over there. Now, a couple of things. These are the retracement levels. If Wilcon does not do so well, if it breaks out and stays above the 15.4 level, there's an expectation that it could challenge the 17.5 peso level for the short to mid term. So I guess that's it. Marvin Germo, stock market trader and investor. If this video gave you so much value, super appreciate the like, the thumbs up, and super appreciate it if you can send it to more people, because it's time that for those who are experiencing lockdown in the Philippines, use this time to learn, use this time to build your skills, use this time to help you grow and win and crush it in the markets, because it can be done. You can win. You can trade the markets with confidence. And this is Marvin Germo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.